Greetings, Banff Warriors. Greetings. Welcome to the Results Kill Excuses channel. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button so you can get notifications on all the new releases. My name is Greg. I am the host, and I am also a freedom alignment coach on a mission to help men that are ready or are ready helping themselves, searching for them answers. And guess what? Today, we're going to talk about an important topic that keeps popping up. I keep seeing men, and maybe you're one of them, posting up about waiting. I can't ever imagine a time, and I know that this may wreck some of you, but I cannot ever think of a time throughout my 12-year journey, right? Hitting rock bottom, taking responsibility, getting sober, and asking for help. I just don't know of a time throughout that 12-year journey that I ever sat back and said, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to be inspired to go to the gym today. I'm waiting for the love of my life to show up and just knock on my door. I'm waiting for the storm to pass so that I can feel better about myself. I'm waiting, right, to get the paycheck that I know is barely even going to cover the bills. I'm waiting to lose the weight. I'm waiting to book the trip that's going to really give me a life experience so that I can feel that I am actually living life to the fullest. The waiting. If you ever post something that has the word waiting, like if we go all the way back to being kids, think about this. Go all the way back to when you were just a little guy. We know there was three types of people: those that watch things happen, those that wait for things to happen, and then you know who I'm talking to. We're talking about motherfuckers stacking results. They're the ones that make shit happen. And even if you know that there's a process to something, I knew that for me to truly solidify my sobriety, right, it was going to take time. I wasn't just sober after 24-hour chip going to an AA meeting, right? I wasn't fully sober after my 1 week chip, my 1 month chip, my 2 month chip, my 3 month chip, my 5 month chip, my 12-month chip, my 5-year chip, right? It took time, and never in between from 24 hours to 12 years did I wait for it to happen. And yet, this is the triggering thing that I know messes a lot of men and people in general up. And it's really a mindset subconsciously that we're waiting for someone to come and save us. We really are deep down on a subconscious level. You want someone to show up and to save you. You're waiting. You're waiting for something to change, to get better. You're waiting to feel better. You're waiting to feel inspired. You're waiting to have your lover appreciate you. You're waiting to be given, get this, permission. And the wait is over. The time is now. The wait's over. The wait is over. If you are someone sitting around, right, feeling lonely, feeling sad, feeling like you deserve to have an incredible lover, a romance like no other, waiting around for that person to find you is foolish. It's absolutely foolish. Because see, here's what happens, right? When I went through a divorce, 21-year marriage expiring, I was at an all-time low. This was 5 years ago. So you're talking about 12 years of sobriety and yet working on myself, right? I finished 3 college degrees in the 12 years, a master's being the highest. And yet I had a 21-year marriage expire. And what I have learned through the process of coming off of relationship, heartbreak, divorce, at 41 years old, I was the saddest sack of shit on the planet. And I was sober. I was sad. I was lonely. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was suicidal. I was feeling like who I can remember at 41 years old, right? I still hadn't lost the weight. I had worked on the mind. I had been working with therapy, right? Taking actions, not waiting. I wasn't waiting, right? I was not waiting. There's always something to be doing. Sitting around is not one of them. I'm going to repeat that. Sitting around is not one of them. Why? Because when you're sitting around, guess where you're at? In your head. And when you're in your head, guess what? There's a lot of fuckery that comes about. There's a lot of shit that comes up, man, and it's usually negative. We get plagued with all this negative, depressed, wishing things were different type of thoughts, feelings of insignificance. Most of us as men haven't really trained ourselves to really be wound up with positivity. And that takes practice. So sitting around waiting is not the option ever, 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 because there's always something to be doing. If you're not working on your physical health, you should be working on your spiritual health. If you're not working on your spiritual or physical health, you should be working on your emotional health. If you're not working on your physical, spiritual, or emotional health, you should be working on your mental health. This is the big picture. This is the total man. This is what makes results kill excuses so much different. Right? I'm here to help men align. Freedom, alignment. Freedom from the negative thinking, freedom from toxic relationships, freedom from insignificance, freedom from feeling unworthy, freedom from your vices, freedom from just sitting around waiting. Permission granted. I give you 100% permission to go and kick ass today and every day after, right? And don't stop. Don't stop. Now, there's a difference between resting. When you've earned a rest, your body's tired, you're just like, you're kicking ass, stacking wins, and you need a pause. You just need to chill the fuck out and rest, right? Listen to some affirmations, take a power nap. Awesome. But too many of you have been waiting around doing that for years, and you know you've been doing it for years, and that's why you can't break that broken record cycle. You're caught in a trap. It's time to free yourself. That's the message. And then the alignment piece is aligning yourself with what? The alignment that I want to help inspire you towards is to align yourself with the best version of you. That's your purpose, men. Kings, that is your purpose. That is your complete purpose, is to be the best version of you. You versus you. Are you up for the challenge? Are you already putting in the work? If you are, this is just fuel for your fire, right? Preferably, I want to work with men that are already past the starting line, that have already said, I take responsibility, I need help. That was the catalyst for change. That was the catalyst for my transformation. And the time is right now. We do not have any promise tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. And that's not a free pass to just fuck off and keep doing the same old bullshit. If you're hearing this message, this is your call to action. Action. It's your call to action, kings. You're a king. You're a warrior. You're a warlord. Right? But I guarantee you don't feel that. I guarantee you don't look it. Most men are suffering right now, 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And it's crazy how astonishing the suicide rate is in older men over 55. It's time to put you first. That's not selfish. That's self-interest. And this is what I teach here. This is what our message is. Fill your cup up. There's no time to be waiting. My daily 5. I start every morning with the mindfulness. That's meditation. That's journaling. That's breath work. It's grounding myself, right? Then it's all about what? Nutrition. Nutrition is even more important than the physical fitness. If you're not eating healthy, guess what? You feel like shit. You feel like the food you're eating. Fast food, junk food, sugary food. And then you put alcohol and all kinds of other bullshit into that fucking combo. You're just a freaking dumpster. Looking like a bag of chips. So nutrition's number 2. Number 3 is physical fitness. Right? And again, I'm counting down my daily 5 principles, values for every single day for keeping what? My cup full. So fitness, getting in some level of cardiovascular exercise. It could be multiple walks a day. It could be a intense ruck or a hike, or it's definitely a consistent amount of effort and energy in the gym, right? Strength training. That is so important for longevity, man. Y'all want to be walking around when you're 60s and 70s, or you're going to be fucking caught up in a wheelchair, right? I saw something the other day. It was crazy, right? The 3 most important organs in your body: heart, lungs, those are obvious. If you're not taking care of your heart, guess what? That's the number 1 killer, cardiovascular disease. Number 2 is cancer, but lungs matter. Then number 3, you know what the 3rd most important part of our body is? Our thighs. And I was talking to my 15-year-old about this the other day. Why do you think thighs is the most important? And he's sitting there, and it's kind of like throwing him like a trick question, but he came up with the answer. It's because of mobility. That's how you walk. And so those of you that think you're old in your 30s, you're old in your 40s, you're old in your 50s, man, and you're not getting in the gym, you are setting yourself up for catastrophe. And that's why a lot of motherfuckers killing themselves. They taking the easy way out. That's chicken shit. And I hope that my beliefs on reincarnation, right? Because a big part of the Results Kill Excuses message, experience, and certainly my life experience is the spiritual aspect. I'm not going to just talk to you about lifting heavy things and putting them back down. I'm not going to just talk to you about nutrition. We're going to talk about spiritual things. That's why we talk about meditation and breath work and grounding, right? Journaling. This is spiritual. And as a man, you are required, but you don't have to do it. It's a voluntary requirement for you to truly cultivate a spiritual relationship with your creator, with God. That is essential in this life. And if you want to disagree, carry on. Carry on, gent. Carry on. But I'm here to talk about spiritual experiences because I believe we are all infinite spiritual beings having a human experience. I have seen way too many miracles, way too many wild and crazy things happen that I just can't explain, other than the fact that I give thanks to God. And I don't even just look at him as like this authority. I bring him down as like the father that I've always desired, Papa. When I'm meditating and praying to God, I'm calling him Papa in my journal, Papa. Right? That's the term. That's the closeness that I have with the creator, the source of all life. And yet that physical fitness is number 3. Number 4, right, is personal development. That's what this is about as well. It's continuously saying, I am going to listen to books. I am going to improve myself and subscribe to being a lifelong learner. I'm not going to be a little brat saying, I'm an adult now. I don't got to go to school. I don't need to learn new things. I'm an old dog. You can't teach me new tricks. Get that shit out of here. Right? Learning new things every single day is literally what keeps your mind sharp, what keeps your whole purpose for being alive intact. It's the process of learning. And in the process of learning, guess what? Sometimes you fail. But a lot of us, when we fail, we become failures. And how do I know this? Because that's what I did to myself. I defined myself as a failure because of past mistakes, wrongdoings, fuck ups. I said, I'm a failure now. And guess what? That was the farthest thing from the truth. Because if you were to examine anyone that's ever been successful, someone that you could look up to, right? That you could emulate, that you could use as a role model, I guarantee you, their whole entire experience is rooted in failures. That's how they became successful. They just didn't quit. They just didn't post up and wait for things to happen. And 5th and final on my list to keep my cup full, to keep my mind active so that I'm not waiting for shit to happen, is making a difference. I volunteer. I go to disasters. I help out. And sometimes I don't have to go to far off places. Sometimes I can just volunteer right here in my backyard, right there in my community. Volunteering. When was the last time as a king that you stepped out and you gave of your time and your talents and expected nothing in return, man? No money, maybe a high five, maybe some water, maybe a piece of a sandwich or something. But it was just serving from the heart, right? And so you ain't got time to wait for nothing, right? You may be putting in work. I'm working on something so tremendously huge. It's huge. It's going to serve and bless everybody listening to this message and millions upon millions more. And yet, little by little, every single day, I'm putting in work. There's no waiting for it to happen. That's a broken mindset. That's a false mindset of you have an expectation, you have a subconscious belief that someone somehow in a miraculous way is going to come and rescue you and sweep you off your feet. That's why you can post shit about waiting. Because if you're a man that feels like you deserve an incredible love, but you ain't met that person, right? It's because you haven't become the person. Did you hear me? Right? You need to become the person. The other thing you need to do is you need to actually get out there and start talking to strangers. You need to build your self-confidence. I can help you with all of this and more. But I know way too many people, men with very low self-confidence, men with very low self-worth, a very shitty self-image of themselves inside, right? Your inside image of who you see yourself as. You hate yourself. So many of you actually hate yourself. You can't truly say you love who you are. Because if you did, right, you would be where I'm at. You would be the one teaching and sharing your life. That's the true embodiment of love. Because when you have truly figured out life and transformed your life, improved your life, more than just fitness, more than just health, more than just spiritualism, but literally the complete total man, you cannot help but wake up and want to share that with the world. Knowing that there are so many people hurting right now because they can't figure it out. And if you have, you would share it. But see, you're still trying to figure it out. And so many of you ain't even trying to figure it out. You're just waiting and thinking about it. That's that motherfucker in the statue just sitting there like that. He just sitting there thinking about it. Is that you? If it is, the time is now. The time is now to start springing into action, coming up with a plan. And if you can't do that, reach out. Right? I'm available for coaching. Right? I'm willing to give you a free discovery consultation. Comment down below. Reach out to me. I would love to work with you to help you break past some of these barriers that are holding you back from becoming the what? Best version of yourself. To becoming in alignment and truly feeling like you are the divine masculine leader that this world needs you to be. That's why I'm here right now. No other reason. Right? I can tell you in my heart of hearts, I actually love living a private life. But I know that I have given myself, I have turned my shame into my shine. Right? And I'm here to share it with you. And it's coming right from here, from in the heart. My whole message has evolved. And I'm so grateful for a time such as this. And I'm so grateful for a man such as you, a man that is ready and already starting down the process of saying, I'm looking for the answers. I'm looking for the solutions. I'm already asking for help. But if you're not that man, then carry on. Carry on. When you become that man, I'm going to still be here because I can't convince you. I'm not here to sell you. When you know, right, when I was 12 years ago, before I got sober, before I hit rock bottom, right, ain't nobody was going to tell me what I needed to do. Nope. I was hear no evil, see no evil. I was just closed the fuck off, going down fast. But once I came to my senses, right, I was willing to knock on any door, kick that motherfucker down, right, in order to try something, anything that could get me the results that I truly envisioned and desired to see. And I'm so, so, so thankful for those of you men that have already started down this process. It starts with acceptance. Then next, asking for help. And if you're already getting help, right, this is just going to be fuel to the fire. This is just going to be momentum to help you get traction, to start really stacking up some major results of transformation so that you can truly become the best version of yourself, to feel the absolute best version of who you could be. I love you guys. Thank you for staying tuned, sticking around throughout this entire show. I know that the message isn't always easy to hear, but if it's resonating with you, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to share this message because you're not alone. We need each other as men. And I am here to serve you and anyone else that's ready to fucking help themselves, dig themselves out of their ditches and start doing what? Action. Springing into action. It's time for action. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, where your growth equals your greatness. Greg's out.